guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about some of the top safety concerns as it relates to the Dougherty Dozen. I wanted to sort of form everything into one video because there is more and more discussion happening around this family channel, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so two quick little disclaimers to get out of the way. First and foremost, if you hear birds chirping or anything like that, it is because my door is open. It's a really nice day outside today, and this guy was sitting by the door for a little while. So I would say I apologize if that annoys you, but it's really not annoying, so no apology needed. Secondly, if you are a Dougherty Dozen fan, stan, watcher, whatever you call yourselves, I'm here to share my opinions. It seems like this family is one that I'm just going to have continued issues with whenever I share opinions about them, and I'm okay with that because I'm a commentary channel. I'm here to give my unsolicited opinion on public information, and I can understand why, if you're a viewer of their channel, you're used to watching Alicia make lunches and go to the laundromat or talk about, you know, her $1,500 hauls every week. I can understand why a commentary channel might be surprising to you, but that's what I do. No, this is not my full-time job, so I don't pay my bills or support a lifestyle with the money that I'm making off these videos. This just so happens to be a little hobby for me, and I have an audience that enjoys to hear my opinions. So if you are put off by those, or if this is just going to make you have some sort of, you know, day ruining moment by watching my video, please click out. It's all good. Nobody asked for views. I am just here to talk to people that are interested in listening to some or all of what I have to say. It is all good. If you're going to leave nasty comments or come out and, you know, try to pin some kind of like insane allegations on me, like I just don't have time for that. The Dougherty Dozen stands are actually way worse than the Colleen Ballinger stands, and that's really hard to believe, but here we are. So I want to talk about safety concerns today. In terms of issues with the Dougherty Dozen content, if I was going to list 5 things, privacy and safety is at the top of the list. All of the other stuff is, you know, people have a lot of different opinions about, but if there's one thing I would hope that all of us could agree on, it would be that safety and privacy should always be given to children. No doubt. Like medical info, and I'm not talking about them like participating in a TikTok or being in a vlog. That's not my issue. My issue is Alicia oversharing, exploiting medical issues, putting the kids in, you know, compromising safety positions by giving out way too much info and not protecting their location, where they live, where they shop, posting in real time. All of these things are a really big issue. To have children that are in your home and are counting on you to keep them safe, because just to break it down in a really simple manner, usually kids are counting on the adults in their home for safety. They should be able to count on those adults to do everything within reason to keep them safe. And I understand that really crazy things happen that are unplanned. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the parents not being dirt bags and literally giving out all of this information. Alicia just said the other day that she had 2 YouTubers stop by her house. To me, it sounded like she didn't know these YouTubers. They were not, you know, people that she has a professional relationship with. She literally said that they stopped by. I'll include a clip right here.
I wanted to thank somebody stopped by today. Diana and her husband Sean stopped by today and just gave Josh and I, like, they're very sweet, and we're basically like, we just want to stop by and tell you that we're proud of you and you're inspiring and keep going. And we were like, thank you, because in the world of social media, you get a lot of negativity and a lot of criticism and a lot of hate. So it was nice to have someone be like, keep going. You're doing the right thing.
So that was alarming to me. You have two other YouTubers, which could be very nice people, that are randomly stopping by your home, and now they know where you live. So I hope that those two YouTubers are people that can be trusted. I really do. Because now they know where you live. As if it wasn't bad enough that Alicia has shown her own address multiple times. Those children in her home are absolutely counting on her to keep them safe. And when we're talking about kids, and I've kind of glazed over this before, but when we're talking about kids that are adopted, those kids are sometimes coming from homes where they don't feel safe and they can't count on the adults. And then they're taken from their home and put into foster care. And then they're, adopted into their new homes. And to be put into a new home where they're experiencing the same thing and the parent is not putting safety first and foremost, how is that fair to those kids? How is that fair? There is no justifying the things that she has done to go out of her way to trash their privacy. And specifically, I want to show this video. I will blur it out. I've shown a clip of this in a previous video, but I really want to highlight this since this is a safety concerns specific video. She received a comment on TikTok and said, "Tell us about child name. I notice he's older, but the same height as his sister blank. And his smiles are so heartwarmingly open. Is it CPTSD?" And Alicia goes ahead and shows all of this child's medical information. All kinds of diagnoses. Of course, she has to mention the FAS, the fetal alcohol syndrome. This is not okay. And if you are one of their fans that is applauding this, what is wrong with you? How is this okay? This is not her medical info to share. If she wants to tell her own diagnoses and health problems and bathroom habits to her audience, she can do that. It is not her place to share the info of her children. And I don't care if they're bio adopted or how she calls the two new ones extra kids, bonus kids, whatever she labeled. Like, the whole thing is disgusting. Again, my opinion. If she as a grown adult wants to tell people about her mental health issues, her physical health, her, habits or whatever, fine. You don't do that to your kids. These are kids that are growing up with a massive digital footprint thanks to her. People know their full names, where they went to school, where they grew up, what the birth parents' problems or diagnoses, mental health issues could be. Because she went ahead and shared all of that before they were even old enough, some of them, to comprehend what the internet really is. And for anyone that wants to sit there and say, these are her kids, so that's her business, you need to mind your own business, and people shouldn't be sharing opinions about Alicia, she's a great mom. In my opinion, and I do my best to not parent shame, in my opinion, a great mom does not share all of these diagnoses for all of these different kids, bare minimum. You don't tell strangers on the internet where you live. You don't allow strangers to come by your house and visit you. And you damn sure don't go over your kids' medical history on social media. I don't care if you get 1,000 questions about it. You can respond to those people and say, I am protecting these kids. I will not share their medical info. If they choose to do that down the road, then that is their journey. It is not my place to share it. It really gets me fired up because it's a little bit of a couple different things. It's a little bit of her just using it for content. It's a little bit of her trying to appease her audience so that they get their questions answered and they stay interested in watching this family channel. And it's a little bit of that savior complex. And again, that's just my opinion based on everything that I've seen her do. She constantly uses any opportunity to say, look at all the things that I'm doing for these kids that, quote, nobody else would handle. Nobody else could handle. Nobody else wanted them. Nobody else would invite them into their homes. So we stepped up to the plate, and look at all the great things that I'm doing for them. So it is not her business to put their medical info on the internet. As soon as you put things out onto the internet, it becomes everybody's business. This is why I talk about keeping YouTube life and real life separate as much as you can, because as soon as those two kind of start to coexist, you have people that know way too much about you. You have people digging for more information, but specifically when you have children counting on you to not use their info as part of your content, that's where it becomes a very, very big problem. Like I said, as an adult, do what you want. I still think it's good to keep those two separate to some degree, but it's damn sure not your place to do it for minor children that cannot have an educated conversation about, okay, if we put this out, like, it's going to be out there forever, screenshots exist, and people are allowed to have opinions about it once it's public. So there's a post on the Reddit going over these YouTubers that stop by her house. So I want to read that. The post starts and says, our random stranger is legit stopping by their house now, since she makes no effort in hiding where she lives. If so, that's super freaky and a really big concern. She mentioned in her live today a couple named Diana and Sean stopped by to tell her how inspiring and proud they were of her. That's a major safety issue since kids play in the front and backyard half the time and no one is actively watching them. This needs to be a wake-up call for her. Alicia needs to seriously reconsider what she shares online before she really puts her family in harm's way. And something else that she did was she mentioned how they're having a photo shoot done in Central Park when they're going to New York, and she went ahead and shared the day that they're going to be there. So all that fans have to do is hang out around Central Park or follow them on social media, and they'll be able to see the entire family in real time. That is really, really scary. And then I already talked about this briefly, but where she showed where one of her kids went to school, she was vlogging the graduation ceremony. I understand that for some people, this might not seem like a really big deal, but part of the problem is when you're vlogging your family and you send your kids out to school, you're not at school with them. And school is not a 100% guarantee that the kids are going to be safe there all day. Unfortunately, I wish that it was. But when you're public figures, people know where your kids go to school and they know the hours that they're in school, because that's not hard to figure out. Then you have Alicia sharing what time they get off the bus. People know where they live. All of these can start to really commingle and create a really scary situation for one of these kids. And here's another thing, and this is not necessarily Alicia's fault, but this is just something else that she needs to keep an eye on, especially when she's sharing information about their real life. There's literally a hate page on Instagram for their youngest child. I'm not going to show a screen grab of it, but this is disgusting. These are the kinds of things, and again, I'm not blaming her for this, but when you open your kids up to this and then you're not putting their safety and privacy first and foremost, these are the types of things that when they start to coexist, it can have a really, really ugly outcome.
No, our address is on Google, so I've given up caring. All right.
Our address is on Google, so she gave up caring. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Guess what? With all the money that she's made by exploiting these kids, she could have their information wiped from the internet. So why so careless? Why so careless when these children are counting on you to keep them safe? That's what I would like to know. To laugh and scoff it off is scarier than her telling people information in a certain way. All that money she's spending on silly nonsense could be put towards wiping their information from the internet and making sure that these kids have a secure home to live in. She keeps dropping hints that she's going to do this house tour. For the love of God, if you're going to do a house tour, please don't show your children's bedrooms. That is so weird. That is not okay. I don't care what anyone says. Showing where your children sleep at night is not normal behavior. I really wanted to talk about the issue with her showing all of these diagnoses, and she talks about their diagnoses, certain medical diagnoses, a lot online. Anytime she has an opportunity, we saw her with the New York City shopping prep, whatever she wanted to call it, where she was showing and telling people that some of her kids have issues with incontinence. It's disgusting. Again, as an adult, if you want to tell people about your own stuff, that's one thing. You have no right to share all of this information about these kids. Many of them do have really troubled backgrounds, and my heart breaks for all of them. But that also doesn't mean just because Alicia is buying the materialistic stuff that she gets a ticket to be able to tell everyone all their medical info. Oh, she's giving them a home and whatever food they want, so she gets to blast medical info online. That's not how that works. And as far as people having opinions, the opinions are going to keep growing. There are a lot of eyes on her channel, and there are a lot of critical eyes on her channel, including myself coming from a commentary stance, and that number is only going to continue to grow. So she has every opportunity to delete a lot of this content off the internet and make sure that she's not oversharing on a go-forward basis. But I don't think that she's going to stop that, because it's part of her content, and it's a way that she keeps people engaged and keeps people interested, because they want to know info about kids, which is also really, really weird. Hey guys, I was editing this video and I saw that Alicia put up on TikTok this photo right here, sharing the kids' backpacks for the New York City trip. And I just wanted to throw this in as yet another example of her not taking their safety seriously. Literally, all that it would take is for someone to see a kid with a backpack with their name on it, yell that child's name, and grab that kid's attention, and they could wander off from the group. Anything could happen. When you're in literally like the busiest city in the United States, not putting your kid's name on their backpack or their shirt or their jacket or anything is a good idea. Strangers don't need to outright be able to see your kid's name. Should a child have like an ID card or something tucked away? Yes, but you shouldn't be advertising your children's names to a bunch of strangers in the middle of New York City. I am very worried about this trip. I hope that it goes okay. I hope that there's no weird encounters. The lack of care and the lack of, I really am doing my best to keep my kids safe, that Alicia exhibits on a daily basis is really alarming, and there's red flags going up left and right. So I hope that they have a great time, but I think that there will be more to discuss when this trip comes to a close. But for now, we will just keep an eye out. This is very, very scary. I won't bore you guys any longer. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.